Hello and welcome to an Aura Cloud Plus Training as a Service video snippet. Learn to use and configure Oracle's Fusion Cloud applications in minutes, not hours. Hello and welcome to the Supplier Qualification sneak peek video. In this video, we provide a sneak peek or a quick walkthrough of the Supplier Qualification functional work area. So with that, let's notice that we are logged into the seated environments within Demo Central. We're logged in as Calvin Roth. Calvin Roth is a procurement manager. And so we're logged into the, we're looking at the procurement offering. And within procurement, you can see a series of tiles that focus on applications or what are also called functional work areas. And we want to select the Supplier Qualification functional work area. So when we do, we are brought to the overview page. So overview page starts with two things, really attempting to alert a buyer or whoever manages this data to transactions that may need attention. So expiring qualifications or some questionnaires that are ready for review or evaluation. And it provides groupings of transactions that a user may want to go in and open up a separate tab. In this case, let's say to look at all just the draft initiatives. And so what you don't see here behind the scenes is within the search filter, they're really setting the status just equal to draft. Okay, we can close that and we can walk back into our overview tab. And so there's just a series of tabs that are here. You can add and remove those tabs. Those tabs are available to you based on your roles. You can refresh the tabs by clicking this refresh button. You can oftentimes flip the tab to see the detail. So in this case, here are the three responses pending. For example, you saw pending here, but you couldn't click on those responses. So if you want to see, well, who is pending, again, you just flip. So this is a little bit of the UI and how it functions from an overview perspective with supplier qualifications. So let's draw your eye here to the right. And you can see task panel, search, recently viewed, and reports and analytics. So under the task panel, this is split into two large groupings of tasks, entering transactions and managing setup. Within the entering supplier qualifications transactions, you can create an initiative, manage quals, assessments, questionnaires, etc. So an initiative is really, if you ask me, it's what they should have called the application, because initiative is the tool that's used to solicit question answers that roll into qualifications or assessments. And so this is what you can do with create. You can manage the initiatives. So it feels a lot like a sourcing event where you define them, you pick who you're going to go to, and we'll take a look here in a minute. We'll create one. But you define a grouping of suppliers and they will respond, you review, etc. So you can also review those suppliers based on different qualifications, different metrics, qual areas, etc. You have models for these qualifications. So if I decide based on an assessment, I'm going to assess suppliers differently for services than goods, then you create a different model. Rule sets and automation errors you've got here as well. So this is a little bit of the breakdown of, again, setup tasks and transaction creation tasks. Next up, if I wanted to search through initiatives, qualifications, assessments, or the basic building block questionnaires, I could do so here. If I wanted to see prior or recent transactions, click this and I can see here's all the ones that I've been in and out of here. And it's nice, they've prefixed them by assessment, qualifications, initiative, right? And so this feels a lot like if you're in a legacy app, a work center where they used to combine all these different analytical tools. And so you see the OTBI reports that are rolled here, yours that you've created or ones that have been shared with you. So all that information is in here. So lastly, let's go ahead and open our task panel here. And we're going to create an initiative or just walk through the creation of an initiative really quickly. This is a very large endeavor, but I wanted to provide a simple example again, so you can have a sneak peek of what this application does. So you need to define a title, whether it's assessment or qual. You need to define the business unit here and give this particular initiative a title. When you do that, you can select create and this will take you to the base initiative page here. And you can see here you've got a series of train stops, brings in the name, you put a description, which is important because notification will go out, and you define the different qualification areas which link to questions and the different suppliers that it will get sent to. When you get that, next up, you'll define the team of evaluators. You don't have to have evaluators, but if you had evaluators, you could put them here. You then work through a series of different train stops that look at the configuration. So let's see, you have to add a qualification to the supplier. Let's go back here. Let's then go here. And add one qualification. Actually, probably don't want to add that one. Let's just add compliance. And it has an owner. Okay. And then we're going to add at least one supplier. I don't know if I can use my supplier here that I added. Whoopsie. Sorry, hang on. Let's look and see if Aura Cloud Plus is in here as a supplier. And it is. So we'll select and add Aura Cloud Plus. So sometimes you'll also see this tool used to round out converted data. A lot of time legacy applications don't have all of the information we have in cloud. For example, supplier diversity or insurance business classifications, design bid qualifications. So you can use this tool by setting up a qual area around, let's say, supplier diversity and asking questions from different suppliers. So you'll see that here. So now let's try to move into our configuration tab. Oh, sorry. I'm not the best on this today. So let's go ahead and, okay, so now we've got our supplier. We've got this just from a configuration standpoint. And I'm going to go back. It would list the questions that are part of the qual area that we've joined in. You would see those questions, which you see here, and different sections that would be over here. It could be more exhaustive. This is pretty simple. And then you go to a final review step here before you would launch the initiative, which again should feel a lot like publishing a negotiation. This would notify the suppliers. They would then come in, respond. And from there, if you may remember on the overview page, you would see those responses show up on your overview, or the category manager or the buyer or the sourcing specialist, and they would work through those different responses as a way to complete that particular initiative. So this is a little bit of an overview, right? It's the sneak peek video that shows you what's available, shows you a little bit of the UI, and shows you a quick walkthrough of, in this case, an initiative where we used a qualification area to solicit responses from a vendor called Aura Cloud Plus. So that's as far as we're going to go for this particular video. Hopefully you found it helpful and appreciate you watching. Thank you.